Well, looky here. It's another episode of Realities May Vary, the podcast that goes where it wants because you know what? America, we can do whatever we want. You're not the boss of us. I'm Brian Noonan. With me, as always, is not Cody Gough because Cody, let's. We're all in the business of hopes and prayers. Let's throw some hopes and prayers toward Cody and everybody down in Texas. He's supposed to be flying to Dallas tonight. And if you've been following the news, you know that all throughout Texas and Oklahoma, that whole area, horrible, horrible rains and flash flooding. And there was video of first responders swimming down the interstate. So we hope that Cody, one, can make it to where he needs to go, and two, be safe when he gets there, and wishing everything goes well for the people down there. That's horrible. Water is the worst thing. So you're probably thinking, oh man, Brian, are you gonna just sit there by yourself and babble like an idiot? That doesn't seem like a really change from anything you normally do or have done in the past. No, tonight I decided to ask, and the invitation was graciously accepted, to bring back a voice from the past, a man who I spent many nights with, and I know that sounds probably dirtier than it actually is. You know him as the award-winning newsman from WGN Radio. You may also know him as the author of The Unplanned Life. Yes, you can get that book everywhere. It's an actual real book. It's got pages and everything and pictures. It's fantastic. It's a wonderful read, and it's also an audiobook. So if you're too lazy to read or don't know how to read, you can still listen to this man lay out his story. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always a pleasure to say hello to Roger Badish. Hello, Roger.
How are you?
I'm good. People have been clamoring for your return to Realities May Vary. And so what I always like to, I'm a people pleaser, Roger, to my detriment. You know that. So here you are. And anybody who's a fan of you, and there are numerous fans, legion of fans of Roger Badish. They follow you religiously on social media, so they know of your exploits. And when I asked you to do this last week, you graciously said yes right away. And then you said, oh, maybe I can show people around the garden, because anybody who knows you knows that since you've retired, you have been putting all your efforts into your new home and doing all sorts of projects. Is that basically all that keeps you busy now?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I wake up in the morning in the garage, because that's where all the supplies are. I want to get a fast start. Sorry about the noise. And I jump right into the garden, and I start watering and pruning holes, filling them back up again, because what do you do with holes? I
put stuff in them, bodies. I don't know what you put in the hole.
Well, I can't dig down that far. It's really hit the roots from these trees. When we first moved in a little over a year ago, in the area that is now the Rose Garden, and it was a complete mess. There were vines growing on the other side of the fence, and we asked the previous owners what's growing back the plot where the Rose Garden is now, and they said, we don't know. It's some kind of vegetable. It wasn't a growing vegetable. I don't know what was back there. Maybe a hand coming up. And
could have been Carrie.
Yeah, buried bones or not. And so I'm starting to dig down, and suddenly I hit a root. Okay, a tree root. I didn't know from Adams used to say, because I looked down at what was there, and it looked like a line for a utility service. Now again,
oops,
I've never owned a home before, so I don't know what's buried.
You're supposed to call Julie.
I just remember so I called Julie, and they said, how far down are you going to dig? I go, I don't know. Oh, maybe. Never mind. You don't need us. All the lines are at least a foot down. Can you please come take an axe to what might be a gas line?
Yeah.
Because it was stripes on it. And I'm thinking, what root from a tree or something else buried down there is yellow with a blue stripe?
No.
So, and plus it was kind of waxy on the surface. It was a main line. I finally got them to come out and look at it. And they said, no, all the lines are in the front. So me and my trusty axe went at that little sucker and got it. And so I was able to dig deeper.
What was it? Did you ever find out?
It was a root. Well, I actually got an arborist. Look at me with the fancy word.
Wait, a yellow with a blue stripe was a root?
A brown stripe. Brown stripe was a root.
Brown stripe.
And so a tree that's growing on the other side of our fence in the other property. So I had an arborist with me because we're going to be cutting down the tree in the backyard. Never mind. Yes, we're out in the land or wherever.
Yes, we are out. Roger is, in case you're wondering, Roger is out of doors in the backyard preparing for a tour, which that is why there may be some audio issues, but that's all right. And if you are watching the live feed on video, there's lights going on and off. Are you hosting a rave out in your backyard? What's going on?
All right, so I keep forgetting that even though I've got all these other lights now along the fence, and there's that green one we discussed earlier, that is because I was starting to feel a little woozy. But I have a security light, a motion light, which is the thing that's flashing on and off. So I'll move my legs or head or arms or any other part of my body, but it's that way. So
all right.
You'll see it behind. But
now,
yeah. So
before it gets too dark, I don't want to deny you of the pleasure of showing everybody what you've been up to. So if you're watching this, because right now everybody thinks either you or I or both of us are urinating because there is quite a flow in the background. And it doesn't sound like it could be one person. So do you want to show us what's going on back? Ooh.
Here, and there's the light. Came on at the right time. This is the fountain. That
fancy.
I love. And when it's working, it sounds beautiful, nice and smooth.
Yeah.
I'm still messing. Oh, there we go. I'm still messing around with it, but as you can see, it top, down, and then finally cycles back up.
Okay.
So it's a nice tall one, but showed it behind a pillar, and when I got it installed I realized why. Which I'll put you can see there, the back part is open. The wind blows through there.
Oh.
Why it was up against the pillar. So 3 hours later, it was empty already.
Oh, no. So what'd you do?
Well, I've got plexiglass that I had some sitting around the house. I put it going off on the side. So now I have plexiglass on the sides. Well, now it's not dripping correctly in here. Come on, light. Thank you. It's not dripping correctly in the top one. So now I got to cover that up a little bit. But you know what? I don't care. It gives me
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So, and so where does it go into it? Did you dig a big hole? Is there a pool there? Is there a koi pond? What do you got there?
No.
This is like Bob Vila if Bob Vila had suffered a head injury.
It's actually on the land, the ground that was there, storage shed back here, and nothing but rocks, gravel. And we took the storage shed out, and I thought I was going to have to dig down for the path, which, if you can see, there is the path, part of it. And
did you install the electricity?
So, well, I realized it took me that I didn't have to dig down into the ground to put the path in. I just put it was here. So once I realized that, week, I thought I was going to have to dig down. I was wondering, how am I going to get rid of the dirt, find down another 12 inches to put the gravel down, and I cut the cost like, oh, it works out.
Very nice. Well, we got some people. Linda and Diane and Jean are saying hello. So hello, ladies. Welcome. We know Roger's audio is a little off. I explained that earlier because he's on his phone, and it is a rotary phone, which is weird in this day and age. But he's on a yes, Mike. I am drinking the hard stuff. I spent 3 hours in the dental chair tonight. I know we couldn't get through one episode of Realities May Vary without some sort of medical update from somebody. So yes, today I was in the dentist chair for 3 hours. My mouth is a tad sore. So tonight I am sampling a pre-made brandy old fashioned. So it is
nice.
It's fantastic. Yes.
We're done. So one of the first things I did was put there's a chain link fence in the back and the property behind, which is commercial property. And so I got this very nice brown netting.
I like that.
Air to go through. It's beautiful, and it's about.
Oh, you did it the whole way.
Yeah, we did.
Nice.
I just kept stretching it. It's zip tied on the bottom. My problem
looks good. And then you install those lights on top.
As much as my audio is breaking up when they go over, I can't hear it. Plus, because I'm old,
all right.
Deaf too.
You're old. You're deaf. You don't have headphones. You got planes buzzing your house. What's going on over there?
What?
You know what? I think if you get closer to the house, you're going to get a better signal.
Oh, I'm sure. So I put up the solar lights along there and walk the path. We'll walk a little closer to the connection. One thing
it's beautiful.
So you can't, it's hard to see it, but this part of it, we've planted lilac bushes, and hopefully they'll make it through the winter, and they'll be growing by next, which would be nice. From what you might be able to see, the black part here of the you can't see it. That part of
we can see
ground, that's a weed cover cloth, and that's where all the butterfly flowers will be. We didn't plant them this year because it's too late for me. As far as I'm, everything else is in place.
Nice,
including my
little bridge.
Can you see it there?
Yeah, the bridge over troubled water.
Yeah, exactly. Or the river.
The River Kwai? Sure.
Yeah.
That's a bridge too far, Roger.
So actually, it's a really nice bridge that you can walk
beautiful.
Over.
Wow.
It's
That's
very
fancy.
sturdy.
And you made like a fake river running under it, right?
I do. You won't be able to see it, I don't think. But it's...
there we can see it just fine.
That's just the blue glass.
Nice.
Like for a gas heater.
Yeah.
With rocks around it. And once the plants are planted, then it's going to look like a forest area. I'm trying to get the light to go on. There we go. And these gorgeous light changing.
Yeah, somebody was at Walmart. I have a couple of those.
No, actually, they were a gift. Our good friend Steve and Johnny.
I've heard of them. They used to do something. Yeah, I don't.
So those are up. We've got those, and then I put up. I think you saw it in the picture before. On the side of the garage, 3 trellises, which will be hanging flowers from. Not enough room for things to grow underneath. The space isn't large enough. And then
Did you ever think while you were doing these Do you think now maybe you should have retired earlier and gone into like landscape design for people instead of spending all those years toiling away, sleeping in a newsroom?
I probably should have, because when I was in, I think my first summer, senior year in high school, I started going out and getting, lawn cutting jobs, landscaping.
Okay.
I'd trim the bushes, I'd do the edging, everything. And doing it, I don't understand why, because I hated when my dad told me I had to do it.
Well, that's different. Doing it because you're doing it because you have to. I hated cutting the yard when I was a kid. Now I love doing the stuff in the yard. But it's very creative. It's very pretty.
Well, see, and that's one of my first purchases, because when I saw it online, I just fell in love with it. This is a fountain, not a waterfall, but it's a fountain down on the ground, so that his sister could reach the drinking fountain.
Oh, right. Okay.
And so there's a little light in the, see if we can.
It almost looks like that fountain from SIU. That's what I thought you were trying to replicate.
Right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was like, I bet. I wonder if that's there. She is. Look at you. You have embraced suburban living, haven't you?
Yeah.
You have become the ultimate suburban yard owner. No, the whole place looks great. Congratulations. It's very nice.
And I'd show you the rose garden, but again, it's too dark. I have those solar lights that are along the fence. I have them on for effect.
You need to start recording some content and start a YouTube channel. Roger's Backyard.
Yeah, I should do that. But I'm not going to.
Yes, people would love it.
So,
people would love to watch a retired guy putter around his yard, but you're doing so much more than puttering. You're actually, constructing things.
I don't know if you can just another trellis. This is an archway that goes between the rose garden and I have a rose here, ouch, with thorns, that we can get it. That is a climbing rose bush, and so the back of, or the side of the trellis, the archway, and this thing I planted June, and it's grown almost to the top of. So it's just
nice.
I love it. And then the last thing was these flowers.
Wow.
You can see.
Yeah, white ones and orange ones are beautiful. Wow. So do you just sit out there every night, out and back, and enjoy your handiwork?
Yeah, I actually do. Back where I was sitting before, come out here for a couple hours doing the crossword puzzle. It looks great.
Congratulations. Marta says you'll be an influencer in no time. Cindy saying hello. Gene says it looks great. So it does. That's very exciting. Good for you. Good for you. Well, it's getting dark. Can you get to a place where there's a little more light?
Yeah.
A little more light and a little better, closer to the signal.
Yeah.
Closer to the house. Oh, show everybody your beer fridge, Roger. Because I'm a man who loves a good beer fridge. I love a house that has a beer fridge. I don't think you can truly be a man if you don't have a beer fridge.
This was left by the previous owners, a refrigerator in the garage.
Classic.
And
look at
as
that.
You can see, we've got some
old style hams and Miller Lite. You are an old man.
Pabst in the back. I've got I got some Guinness.
I see some Guinness and Heineken. Very nice.
Heineken, little soft drinks for the kids. I got a little Miller
White Claw. Wow.
Down there. I've got wine in the drawer.
Holy cow! Look at that.
All right.
Now we're talking. Listen, I was impressed by the garden, but this, I got to be honest. I like the refrigerator. I think the refrigerator is a place to be.
So now I'll go ahead and sit down and show you the other pride of which I think you.
Your Vienna beef sign. Very nice. Yeah, where'd you land that?
Huh?
Where'd you land the Vienna beef
Oh,
sign?
oh. So
How did I know there'd be a story
my affection
for
for hot dogs,
bagel dogs,
especially
right?
Vienna kosher beef hot dogs. I got you.
Yeah.
And so all last year, because we were so busy last year, we weren't really cooking a lot of food. Things just send out for food, whatever. So I started ordering bagel dogs from.
I love
These are regular
dogs.
Vienna beef hot dogs wrapped within a bagel dough, and you seconds, and it's heaven.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, unbeknownst to me, I had ordered so many. I was in the top 5 of the online Vienna beef. So not only did the owner of the me and thank me, but they also sent me a shirt. It's more than a shirt. It's like a pullover, a thin pullover with the Vienna beef logo on the chest.
Did they know who you were? Did you drop a "You may know me" from my years on the radio?
The guy who was in the online department knew who I was, because I called a couple of them to talk to it. I order. We're in a new place. It's not one thing and have it shipped to different places.
Right. Yeah.
It's because we threw relatives for the holidays last year. So
Very
and
nice.
they loved it.
So once you earn this honor and you're in the top 5, do they just automatically send you that Vienna beef sign?
No. One day I'm driving along and I drove past a hot dog joint that had, and of course I said, "Ooh, that would look great in my backyard." Called them up, or actually sent them an email, and I said, how much? And they said, "Don't worry about it."
Don't worry about it. We know a guy.
They said, "Don't worry about it." 3 days later, I had it.
Max Armstrong is asking how he gets to be on the podcast. Max, you are welcome anytime. You, as soon as next week, anytime you would like. I think people would love to hear from you. I know Cody and I would love to talk to you. I don't know, Max, if you listened last week, Cody gave you Cody was very moved that you commented on something that he posted. And so I think that both Cody and I hold Max in high regard. Roger, as I know you do as well. So yeah, Max, anytime. We'll exchange a note later. We'll figure that out. That would be terrific. It would be a lot of fun. Somebody asked, it was Marta. She wants to know about the blue art installation just to the side of your beautiful Vienna beef light. There seems to be some sort of modern art hanging on your wall, some sort of block. I don't know. Is it cubism? I'm not sure what kind of art it actually is, but it's fantastic. And Marta was wondering about it.
Yeah, it's part of my old man museum.
Did you get like a gross discount, like a multi-layered discount on those chairs? You got enough of them.
Well, I ordered enough of them. So I ordered some extra, and then I ordered a couple lounge lawn chairs.
Oh, sure.
One
day, you have to have the chaise.
Cutting grass, you're sweating up a storm. Refrigerator, you grab a hams and you sit down in that lounge chair in the backyard. You know what? I would then pull up an old podcast of yours talking about whatever, and I'd be in heaven. So
well,
that's what's behind me.
You're obviously you're obviously out in the sun too much if that's the case that you're pulling up the old podcast. Yeah, listen, Marta said that Max could fill in during Cody's paternity leave. I don't know if Max could handle me that long. He is welcome He's always welcome. We will have Max on soon. That will be very exciting. Nick's very happy that you're here tonight, Roger. A lot of people very happy you're here tonight. I am happy because I don't know if you know this. The other day was National Radio Day. That was it was on all the things, and I saw all these radio people posting, and they love everything's hunky dory. Everybody loves everybody. Blah 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 blah. And I was going to post, and then I thought, I wasn't going to post. But I will say, since you are here, the thing I love most about radio, one was working, and this is not blowing smoke up anybody's backside, but the fact that I got to work along giants like Milt Rosenberg and Orion and Max and Spike and Kathy and Judy, that was great. And being on a station that I had listened to as a kid was great. And now being on in WTMJ, another big heritage station, and all the radio I did before that in little towns, it was all terrific. But the most fun I had was working overnights and working with you and Cody and Christopher Michael and Christy and everybody else who was in there. Cause we did radio the way I thought radio was supposed to be done. We were out there talking about real things, connecting with people, having fun, and creating an audience. And so when I think of radio days, Radio Day, that's what I remember. I mean, obviously I'm proud of the big stations that I worked and continue to work at, but I think about the people, and especially the people on the show with me. So that's what I know you've had a storied career. But yes, I think the Goofy, I was listening to something, cause I was going through some old stuff looking for things, and there was something came on, and I was listening to you and Cody Craig was filling in. It was you and me and Craig. And we were just in the middle of the night howling, having a ball. Yeah. So that's,
and the the listeners were enjoying it.
Yes. There was no arguing. We weren't throwing out flaming hot takes. Well, I always have flaming hot takes, but they're not, they were,
that's what gets us going.
They were genuine. Right.
Yeah.
It was genuine stuff. It wasn't to try to get people upset so they'd, call in or start a riot or whatever. It was just, this is how I think. So,
yeah. I always, when I saw radio, see it, I spent about 10 minutes trying to think whether it's for people who are in radio and everyone lists all the radio stations, or is it for the listeners who use radio often, a little companion to their nights,
right,
or their days they're working? And that's my understanding of what radio was today. And if you think about the big stations and the big markets, that's way too many radio stations in the big markets, in my opinion. Market is too fragmented. Something that really you can stay with. And that's what radio used to be. People, right. The station. And so my thinking is today is in the much smaller markets where stations are not owned. Stations are still owned by mom and pops or
but that's true. But mom and pops and small groups, in order to save money, are piping in the same garbage that's everywhere. So it's not,
for the most part. I mean, there's still some.
Listen, trust me, I've been looking. I travel around. I look at different radio. You get the same shows. If you look up news talk stations in any city, 95% of them are going to have the same lineup. There's nothing local. Maybe an hour of local news in the morning.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I'm talking about the person, because here's when I was teaching broadcasting, the kids always, I got them on the radio. Every school I had built a radio station.
Right.
And I always taught them about news writing, how to tell a news reading, how to write public service announcements, how to write commercials, all that before together a 45-minute radio program, which had to include all of those things. And I told them, I said, you're going to be evaluated by all of your fellow students, and do not play music that your listener, could punch a button on my phone and listen to. Why do I need you? Give me personality. Make me want to listen, even though you're going to be playing music. And they were creative. I could have gone into the broadcasting field. Of course, they were smarter and got jobs that actually paid. So,
yeah, jobs. Yeah,
but I'm serious. I still believe in radio. I believe in radio. Rick Kogan asked me the same question about 3-4 years ago. He said, "Do radio has a future?" I said, "Yes." Where do people tune to? Yeah, you could tweet it, and you could go on Facebook, you could go on YouTube, and all that. I think the public still believes that when you need it, it's there. And I'm not just talking for emergencies.
No, I get it. Hey, can we see if your audio gets a little better if you're either in the house or closer to the house?
Well,
can you go in the house, or is
there right by my finger is an extender for my Wi-Fi?
Oh, okay.
Extender.
So maybe, you know what, it's not the Wi-Fi. It could be the phone or just the program. So yeah, we knew this from the beginning. Roger and I had talked before we started. So we're going to make the best of it. We're not going to be on for hours and hours. And I think part of the problem too is people who are commenting now. We're always happy to have people commenting during it, but they're watching the video too, and that's a little herky-jerky because it doesn't always match up. So I think I don't think it's going to be as difficult if you're just listening, which most people do. They just listen.
By the way,
they download the podcast everywhere, Roger.
Everywhere. I mean,
everywhere.
I've seen flyers attached to the trees out on. Oh no, that's something else. But let me ask.
Mike misses the overnight arcade. I do too, Mike. Thank you. Yeah. It's we had a good time. Marta misses us overnight. She also said she misses when you were with Matt and Jess.
Oh yeah. So
there was a lot of time, but well, things move on, unfortunately, sometimes, but we had a long run. We had a good time, and you got a lot of sleep. So that was very good. I always worried about your rest. So it was nice that you were able to get some sleep. I had a dream that I was back on there the other night. And my worst fear when I was working at both stations was that I was going to say the wrong call letters. Like when I was on TMJ, I was going to say GN and vice versa. And I only did it once on TMJ. Yeah. And I caught it, and I never did it on GN, but the other night I'm having this dream, and maybe it was after seeing all the posts of Radio Day, and I was back, and I don't know who I was on with. It was 3 of us doing a show, and I got a big laugh, and I threw a tease, and I threw down WTMJ. It was like, it woke me up out of my dream. I was like, this is crazy. It's going to be very, very bad. Mike pointing out that Mike, I have new specs, new spectacles. They're crooked because my head is crooked.
Are they those?
But it was
whatever's.
They are, they are a nightmare, quite frankly. These glasses have been So I had the same glasses for probably 5 years, and we used to go every year and get our eyes checked, and Debbie does, and I never did. But this year I was like, my eyes are a little wonky. I was probably either drunk or tired, because the old glasses still work pretty well. And now I thought they were no-line bifocals. According to the new guy, they were progressives, because not only am I old in one sight, I'm old in 3 different vision time zones. I need it all the way. I need far, then I have a little something different in the middle, then I have reading at the bottom. Anyway, So we go, Debbie looks up and with our vision insurance, we go to this place right by the house. They do the exam, the optometrist. He goes, "Oh yeah, your prescription changed." Now, you know me, you've known me long enough, Roger, that you know I do not like to I don't like to make quick decisions. I like to weigh things out. So we get done, and anytime you go to one of these places, they put the hard sell on you to buy the frames right there.
Oh,
Why?
yeah.
Because they're really expensive. And they want you,
Yep.
buy them right here. And normally we have always in the past said, we'll look and we're going to think about it, give us our prescription. Then we go to like Warby Parker or something.
Right.
But this time, Debbie sabotaged me because she was like, why don't we just get them here? It's, they're, because we're going to give you a 30% off and then you get this. And I'm thinking, yeah, but you're giving us 30% off. You probably marked them up 40%. Then you're giving us off 30% because listen, I'm not Dr. Oz buying crudité, but glasses are expensive. And there's a lot of places you can get, if you have the prescription, you can get frames and stuff a lot cheaper than, the lobby of this eye center. Mm-hmm. But Debbie sells me out. So now I'm trying to pick them. And I picked out a couple pairs and they're like, no, with the progressives, you got to have this lens. All right, fine. I go, what about these? Now, these looked black when I was in the dimly lit optometrist's office.
Yeah.
And then I tried on some other sunglasses and I was like, oh, I like these sunglasses. And then she tells me what the sunglasses are going to cost. And I go, there's not a chance in hell I'm paying that much for sunglasses. Debbie was mortified. I go, I can't in good conscience pay that much for sunglasses. I rarely wear sunglasses. I got to get the old ones where the lenses just change color. They get light sensitive or whatever they used to call those.
Yeah.
So Debbie picks up her glasses. They're fine. Perfect. I picked mine up and the office is closed except for one girl who's just like there for pickup.
Yeah.
I get them and it's like somebody had poked me in the eye with a hot poker. I couldn't see anything. Everything was blurry to the point where I'm taking off my glasses with nothing on. I'm going, I see much better with nothing. Oh, well, you got to give it a week or so. I go, really? I got to give it. No. I should, like these other glasses, I put them on. I immediately saw better. I thought that's what glasses were supposed to do. You put them on, you're supposed to see better.
Right.
So she goes, well, give me a couple days. The doctor's not here, blah, blah, blah. So I take them and I'm walking out. And now in the sunlight, these look blue. So they're like, they're black, they're navy. I don't know what the hell color they are, but I'm like, oh my God, I can't be a guy wearing bright blue glasses around. What am I, designing parade floats? I don't know what's happening with the blue glasses. So now I can't see far to drive. I'm getting a headache immediately. I can't see up close. I'm like, these glasses are garbage. I'm not doing it. So thank God I have Debbie.
Oh, I was going to mention that in the glow.
They are kind of blue. They're blue. Well, but if you there's blue on the inside of the arms are blue, but they're supposed to be black up front. But then the blue comes out. I don't know.
Yeah, I see a little blue something there. But
I'm fancy, Roger. That's it. I'm just fancy. I'm a guy who wears blue glasses now. I'm like Sally Jesse Raphael for the 2020s. She wore red glasses, but
thought you were turning into a.
I'm going to be like Elton John. So
we had the same.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, so we moved way far away from all of our doctors, and I kept getting Bridget to find doctors or whatever closer to where we live now.
Yeah.
Look, there's an eye doctor right down here. Our other one, we kept ones because we really weren't getting good service. So we tried the guy minutes away. Nice guy, really nice office, good people. Problem, they measure, they do this and everything. So I needed, again, new glasses. And she needs hers to drive with. Okay, so she's got to wear them for, I'm like, you. I've got trifocals. I've had these for a
Let's not say
long
trifocals. Let's say progressives. Let's
progressive.
not say, I don't want, I'm
All right.
aged, but I'm not that. And I remember when my monocle had 5 prescriptions.
So they finally gave me my new set. I put them on and almost passed out in the office.
It's ridiculous.
Because it not only was it blurry, but it played so much with my perception that it almost knocked me out. And so they're running over, they're grabbing me, and so I had to go in and get redone, get the prescription closer to what my current glasses were at the time. So I'm okay now, except they don't fit right.
They don't fit?
Well, they do, working out in the back in the 100-degree temperatures, and everything was sweaty, and
of course.
And they kept sliding down my face.
You're not supposed to be a manual laborer wearing them. Get one of those strings that put on the back, and you can cinch it up.
I still kept sliding down, and the little rubber hook kept sliding. Telling you, I'll do it without the glass.
Yeah, I take my glasses off when I'm doing the yard for the same reason, because I get sweaty and they fly off, and I'm like, I can see well enough to cut the grass, but I sent Debbie after him because I was done. I was furious that I couldn't see, furious that I had blue glasses, and at first the woman who worked there was no help. She's like, "Well, those are the frames he picked," and she was like, "I was there. They were black. They were black when he tried them on." And she's like, "Oh, well, I don't know." And so then Debbie goes, "Fine, I'm dealing with the insurance company. We tried to return them, but they wouldn't do it, blah, blah, blah." So finally, last week I had to go back in. And man, I don't do well with tail between my legs. And I go in and I played it off like it never happened. And the doctor examined me, and he's like, "Maybe that's the right prescription, but maybe it's just too strong. So let me back it off just a little." And I'm like, "Okay." So they sent them out. Glasses came back. Took me a day or so to get used to, but whatever. I got them. I tried the sunglasses on today. I got the cheaper sunglasses. No. When I told her I was not going to pay for those sunglasses, she goes, "Well, we have lower price points." I go, "Point me to the lower price points. Those are the sunglasses I think I would be happy with."
Well, the sunglasses I have, I always needed them or not. Remember? I don't know if you.
Sure. You wore them when you were sleeping. You wore them in the middle of the night in the newsroom. Of course, everybody remembers those sunglasses. It's very It's we all. I don't care how long you and I both live. That story is never going away. There'll always be some reference to us throwing to you, looking over, and realizing you were asleep in the news director's office on the couch.
But you do know there were several when you weren't there.
Listen, I firmly expect you to have slept most of the time. And somebody commented on my wrist too. Oh, go ahead.
No, the voice of God, who most people at the station knew as Aubrey. One day, right there in front of the control board in the newsroom, my arm with my glasses off, but the headset's on, thinking that you'll hear what's on the air, right? No. So all of a sudden I hear the voice of the headphones. Roger, you're on. And I forgetting to put my glasses on and started to try to read the news, and then went like, if this is the face you said, I went like this to see if I was where were my glasses.
I remember that you trying to wear 2 pairs at one time. Yeah, it was.
The glass fell out of one of them. One time, one of the lenses.
And for those who may be joining us for the first time, and this was not at some podunk 5,000 watt. This was at the 50,000 watt Clear Channel, one of the biggest stations in the 3rd major market in the country.
Yep.
And Roger's falling asleep and we're doing voices that would now get us canceled, and we're playing games and we're talking about cheese trucks overturning, and we had fun. And people enjoyed it. That's it. I have to address this because Marta said, "Oh, I just noticed that both wrists are naked." I am to the point where I don't have. I've got my wrist widget on, which is a new thing. I still have to wear the brace when I sleep and when I drive, or if I'm doing something strenuous. But sitting around, I don't have to have anything on. But there's a weird, I don't know. Nobody cares really, but there's some weird thing going on. Everything's trying to get back in place, with my wrist. So they have me wearing this to help, and I'm doing physical therapy twice a week. And all I keep telling everybody is, listen, I'm leaving town in a month. Is everything going to be okay? Yeah. It'll be fine. Are you sure? Oh, yeah. Because my surgeon went, well, are you golfing? I said, no, I'm just doing this. He said, oh, then you'll be fine. So that's the, my legs are fine. I don't need a wrist to walk up the stairs at Blarney Castle, or to, hike around sheep poop in the field somewhere, or to get into the pub. I just need my wrist to be able to hold enough weight to get a pint up to my lips and a fork to get some fish and chips shoveled in there, and I'll be good.
And you've been practicing on the wrist thing already.
I practice, Roger. It's all about repetition. It's about working it out, keeping those muscles loose, getting a little flexibility in the wrist, But my physical therapist was like, yeah, there's a good chance you're never going to get the motion back that you had before. And I went to the surgeon, and I was saying, I'm a little nervous. Now I get it soon. I'm talking to his physician's assistant, and I go, but the physical therapist said it may never bend again. She goes, oh, she did, huh? I go, yeah. So the doctor comes in, and the first thing he says was, I heard your wrist is never going to bend again. I said, yeah. He goes, she obviously doesn't know what she's talking about.
Oh, gee.
I said, all right, I'm going to trust you rather than the 27-year-old physical therapist or occupational therapist. Not that she's not a wonderful young lady and doesn't know what she's doing, but I'm going to trust the surgeon to go, yeah, he said, it'll probably take about 4 months for you to get full range of motion back, but don't worry, you'll be fine. Okay.
How long has it been now?
5.5 weeks, 6 weeks. So.
Okay. Not bad.
But but you know me. I don't have patience. I didn't start. It was about a month before I started physical therapy, and I expected everything to be healed the next day. Let's go.
Of course.
I want to be ready to go. I got to do stuff.
Yeah. You got to drink some more drinks.
No, I got to do anything. I got to carry the laundry basket up. I got to tie my shoes. I got to, whatever. Yesterday.
Yeah.
My sliding glass door stuck, and I was pulling it with my right hand, and it was like, and then,
no.
Then I'm swearing, and then I've got to try to put the door back, and it's stuck. And I'm trying to lift it, and I'm like, I shouldn't be lifting this door. And Debbie's like, I know, you have to stop. I go, who's going to lift it? You, what are we just going to leave the door open forever?
Yeah.
Just have the back door open. People wander in and out. Raccoons come in, have dinner with us. No, we've got feral cats that live out under the bushes there. I'm not letting them in.
Oh,
so I don't know. That's the breaks of the game.
You'll be fine. Just with.
Oh yeah, it'll be dandy. Yeah. I can't wait. Can't wait. Let me tell people this too. This Friday, I will be at Madame Zuzu's Tea House in Highland Park, Illinois, doing stand-up. I'm headlining the show. It's at 8 p.m. at Madame Zuzu's. I've got things posted on the Facebook page, so you can get your tickets there and come out and see me sling some jokes if that is what you're into. If that's not what you're into, then please, by all means, stay home. We don't need you there if you don't want to. Let's be honest. We don't need any of that kind of stuff. So what else is new? What's that?
Madame Zuzu's. You've been there before, I think.
No, I have not. This is my first time at Madame Zuzu's. I'm asking people not to drink sleepy time tea, though, before the show. I'd like you. I don't know if there's a Red Bull equivalent for tea. That's what I would like people to have. I don't know if they serve anything other than tea. I'm assuming for a nighttime event, they have, coffee. I don't I don't know what maybe some kombucha. I don't know what do kids drink instead
How about
of
a
tea.
4-shot espresso? That'll keep them awake.
Maybe, yeah. Oh man, get all jazzed up. Are you still drinking espressos every morning?
Yes, I am on my rocking chair with a nice little chocolate cookie, watching the neighbors go bugs. People trying
Buongiorno.
waving the hand, and then
They said he's acting very Italian for a Jewish man.
No, but I try. It's like
you try. You got to fit in.
Remember when we went to England that time? Remember, it was a long time ago, and I was trying to get first, and pay for it, then go to the counter and get it.
Right.
And get to the cashier, and I'm trying to in what little that I thought I was better at, but wasn't, trying to explain what I wanted. I'm wall, and he says, "Do you speak English?" Like in the perfect English. I go, "Yeah." He says, "Do it."
Yeah, please. You're offending my sensibilities by trying to speak my native tongue. That's why Molly is fluent in Spanish. And when we were in Madrid visiting her when she was studying abroad, I would say, "Molly, can you order this because I don't speak Spanish?" She was embarrassed to speak Spanish. She goes, "I don't want to offend them by like appropriating their language." I go, "You studied their language so you could communicate with them. Please, for the love of God, ask them this for me." I would offend them if I tried to, "Hey, blah, 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 blah." No, that's offensive. If you know how to speak somebody's language, they're going to go, "Wow, this person actually took the time to learn our language. That's fantastic."
Yeah.
Mike wants to know if I get free tea. And that's how I'm getting paid, Mike. I get paid in tea. If I get, for every applause break, I get an extra 6 ounces of Earl Grey. It's going to be very exciting. I cannot wait.
At the end of the night, they read your tea leaves.
Yeah, it's great. I'm actually going right to the bathroom, turning the hot water on in the sink and soaking my head in tea and wondering why I worked for tea. I'm not a good businessman, Roger. I think we all know that. I'm more a creative type than a business type.
Yes. Yeah. You have great ideas. Management.
Right. I'm an idea man. That's why management always knew they could take advantage of me, because I'm an idea man. I create. That's it. That's what happens. And they're like, "Haha, this guy doesn't know his head from his ass. This is going to be easy. It's going to be easy to fleece this joker."
What else you got some Zuzus? What else you got on tap?
I'll unveil one thing at a time. More things will be coming.
Okay.
We keep that. We're going to have, listen, it sounds like we're going to start having more guests. People seem to like guests. People enjoy, what? We'll have to get, maybe if we can get you a setup where you have some audio and we can get another person, maybe find Christopher, get Christopher on another a show, the four of us. That would be fun.
Special one, because I wanted to show the garden and everything outside.
Right.
If you have me on again, I'll be outside with the microphone and all that.
It's not an if. You'll be on again. You'll be on again. People love you, Roger.
Oh, God bless.
Plus, listen, I'm gonna start lining up. I'm gonna be like Jimmy Kimmel. Cody's gonna be going on paternity leave soon, so I'm gonna be lining up people to sit in for Cody. Yeah.
I got you.
So hopefully you'll say yes when I reach out for that.
I'm always there for you.
Oh, we know that. I know that. So what else is happening? Are you following any news, or now that you've devoted your life to horticulture, are you just have you abandoned any sort of news sense that you used to have?
I still follow during the day, but I don't feel the need to inform the rest of the world about it.
You're not shouting out news stories with your espresso from the porch? It's 8 o'clock. Who wants to come by?
I go out in the middle of the street. Stop! Did you hear? No.
You there, comment technician? Come here for a minute. It's the bottom of the hour. I've got to give you 2 minutes of news.
No, I don't do that, but I do stay on top of the news and everyone on the story. And there's a few that kind of get me riled up. I need to get in there and do the news again, but I'm loving it. I'm not missing anything that I've done. It's, Brian, it's time for the younger kids,
No, not in my case. I still want to be out there.
Well, you're younger.
Well, yeah, not much,
right?
But I'm young enough.
But
I think younger. That's the thing. I think immaturely. Yeah. That's what the kids like. They like an old man who sounds like he's 14, doing a lot of fart jokes and word play. That's what they like. That's what the kids like. But no, I mean, especially the shifts you were working. That's I couldn't work overnights anymore. It messes with you. That's a shift. That's a young person's deal. And I see people working third shift at all kinds of other jobs, and it's much harder than working full time during the day, because you're working at a completely different time of your body's not set up for that,
Exactly. To get over all that, once I was finally done, now I was only doing it one night a week, still having issues during the rest of the week.
I think that's worse though, because you never get used to it.
Yeah.
When I was just doing Friday and Saturday overnights, it would take me till like Wednesday to get back on track.
Yeah. And if you remember when I first started with you, I was still teaching.
Yeah.
And then I'd work Friday night overnight. I wouldn't pass out 3 p.m. after I got done with everything else. Yeah. And then next grading papers on Sunday. So it was tough, but I'm telling you, I traded it for the world. One of the best experiences that I've ever had.
I am always glad that you, just like I always bring up you falling asleep, you always bring up the fact that, I was teaching all day and then I'd come in and do the thing. And it's like, I never got any sleep. I don't know what happened. Yes, I knew I was waiting for the defense, and you didn't throw it out earlier. I'm like, he's going to bring it up at some point. There's going to be a time when he tells us that he worked all day and then came in and worked all night. And now you wouldn't want to be there all night anyway, because there's nowhere to get the pizzas. You got to order them now from somebody. You can't just stop at Dominic's and get the pizzas. Mariano's closes too early. Yeah, it's a nightmare.
But unless they start having a pizza vent, then we might talk.
There you go. Well, I never, I never want it to sound like sour grapes, because I, like you, I am, I'm still happy to be able to do it. I was very honored to do it where we did it together, and I still don't know what happened though. Because I was never, I'll say this because you're here. I don't know if I've said it out loud before. Cody and I were never technically let go. We did a show, our last show, and then they're like, oh, we're doing this and this, but you guys are still, you're still here. You're still part of the team. Okay. And then I don't know. Maybe they lost the lineup card, now batting fourth. Oh, we don't know who's batting fourth anymore.
They misplaced your phone number.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's got to be it. That's the only reasonable excuse. But yeah. So, well, listen, I'm glad that you are doing so well. People ask about you all the time. How the book must be doing gangbusters. Is there a second edition coming? Is there a volume 2? Is it now I've planned my life and it's not what I expected at all? How about a gardening book?
I like a 2-page pamphlet. But there is not a second edition of the book. I do have another idea that a publisher are interested in. I have not started yet, but it will be a novel.
Really?
A World War II novel.
Very nice. And then are you going to do a children's book? Mr. Roger crosses the bridge and just do it in your backyard. Just illustrate your garden and your fake river and all the things.
Yeah, it'll be a short video, actually, a video book. It's over the bridge.
Very
just
nice.
Back and forth and back and forth. Yeah.
Hey, Marta brings this up. Do you still have the whiteboard? Or did Cody take it?
No. Cody.
You have it still?
No, Cody took it.
Cody took it? All right. I know I know somebody has it, so that's good. I know you had it, but I couldn't remember if Cody took it or not.
Yeah, I picked this chair when I saw you guys.
Well, here's the thing.
And Cody, I'll take it.
All right, that's good because Dave Plyer has been asking for it for the Museum of Radio and Television.
Oh, no way!
Of course, no way. There's. I was gonna. No, of course not. Of course not. Cody and I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. We were having some ideas for what we could do with the whiteboard, but no, I'm kidding. That would be hilarious though. Like right in the men's room over the urinals. And every week we would send in a list and they'd redo the whiteboard every list in the Museum of Radio and Television. And then people go, what is this? Some ratty old whiteboard with no frame because the frame broke. And we stashed it. We had to stash that thing so many different places in the station so it didn't get thrown out.
Well, I'll tell you, at the new place, when I went in, whoever was the engineer on duty at that time and had been on duty when you were doing the show overnight. Engineer knew exactly where it was. I didn't even finish this. I got it over here, and it was against the wall, against the corner, and they pulled it out.
That's classic.
Yeah,
that's classic. Well, listen, we're gonna wrap this up tonight. We're gonna let you brainstorm the next time when we can get the audio. But thank you so much for being here. If you haven't seen, heard, read, bought Roger's book, you are making a serious error. It's The Unplanned Life. You can get it anywhere fine books are sold. Is that correct? And what about the audio book?
Book you can get on Amazon.
Amazon.
You can get the
Eckhart's Press
ebook. Eckhart, and if you would like me to, I'm not a boastful person, but if you would like me to autograph it, just let me know that you've on Facebook or on Twitter, and you can let me know that you've ordered it. That Eckhart's Press doesn't send it out without an autograph and she'll copy. That's for the hard copy. You can get the ebook on Amazon, and you can get the audio book. Difference between the two, if I may steal another second. A lot of the stuff that I've written about in audio, where you kind of have to imagine what you're reading, is actually. So there's a lot of stuff from radio in there. There's a lot. Mr. T is in there with him. The public service announcements for Chicago Fest are in there.
Oh, cool.
Just a whole.
Okay.
Yeah, it took a while to get the recordings transferred over from cassette tape and from VHS tapes.
Right.
But I did it, and it sounds. If you want to, you can go on Amazon and get the audiobook, hardcover at Eckhart's Press.
And of course, follow Roger on all his social media channels. Roger Badish on Facebook. There's fans of Roger Badish on Facebook. So go all those places. We must get together soon. We have to have another in-person event.
Definitely.
Perhaps we will move it to our yard this time, and we'll go from there. But thank you so much. It was great having you on. I anticipate you being on more while Cody is on paternity leave. We will get for those people who are still going, Roger's audio is not that great. Yeah, we know we did it. It was different tonight. We had to see what's been keeping Roger so busy since he turned off the microphone and walked away from. Yeah, I know why you walked away too, because that newsroom now had cameras all over it, so you couldn't just fall asleep because they were watching. Big Brother was watching you all the time.
I knew where they didn't point to.
Nice. Very good. All right. That's Roger Badish, everybody. Thank you for listening and being part of the program tonight. Listen, if you're in Highland Park on Friday, Madame Zuzu's Tea House doing comedy show starts at 8 o'clock. You can go there and get tickets in advance. We think Cody will be back next week. We don't know if Cody has made it. Last I talked to him, his flight had been delayed. He's supposed to be leaving now for Dallas, but I got to figure Dallas is completely shut down. But what do I know? All right, so thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Like, follow, all that other garbage. Roger, usually Cody ends it with a crazy goodbye. I'm going to let you have the goodbye tonight.
Hasta la bye-bye, everybody. Thank you.